Hello and welcome to the Global Cricket Premier League. It's match day 1, match 3. After 2 exciting games, we are gearing up for the third one. 2 international franchises, the likes of Dubai Vipers taking on London Rhinos in the third game. 2, well, you can call it close games, but again, entertainment was guaranteed. Joining me along is Chetan Narula, my expert on the show. Chetan, excited for the second one, third one as well, in fact?
Absolutely. This is day 1 of GEPL and third match, Dubai Vipers and London Rhinos. And you know, this is going to be a very, very interesting matchup because we have one team with a top 10 player and another player with a top 20 player. And this is going to be a really exciting matchup because जो पहले दो matchups हैं उसमें भी हमने देखा है कि win toss and you chase and it just changes the complexion of the game. So again, toss is going to be very vital. Third game of the day. And, we are really headlong into the action at the GEPL.
Well, absolutely, Chetan. Remember, we had the first 2 days, the first 2 games, which were very closely contested. A few of them, of course, could debate about that. But we have now the Vipers taking on the Rhinos, another enticing battle against. It is now turning out to be that if you win the toss, you might as well win the game. But again, we can't predict that, hopefully. You look at the captains there, match 3 for both these Dubai Vipers and London Rhinos. It's also turning out to be a battle of the captains when you're going forward, Chetan, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it is another battle of the captains. We have Mukesh for Dubai Vipers and we have Supreet for the London Rhinos. और सुप्रीत के बारे में, I would want to say this, इनके बारे में मैं ये ज़रूर बताना चाहूँगा, इनका bowling economy कमाल का है, 5.27. And the other hand, we have Mukesh, Dubai Vipers के जो captain है, and he is one of the top 10 players of real cricket. And you look at his stats, strike rate of 197 when batting, 6 hitting percentage, 14.89%. So it's not on the higher side. But then you look at his dot ball percentage, 25% dot balls he bowls. So यानी एक ओवर अगर वो करा रहे हैं, तो you are guaranteed कि वो एक dot ball तो ज़रूर कराएंगे.
Well, we have a look at the Dubai side as well, the Dubai Vipers there, starting with, of course, Roy, Mukesh and Vamsi. Now, Harbhajan is there as well. We know Harbhajan from Indian cricket, of course, but here we have another Harbhajan.
Yeah, and he's he's not a bowler Harbhajan because his strike rate in batting is 240, almost 240. We have Dandu Vijay, who is a big MS Dhoni fan. कौन है MS Dhoni fan यहाँ पे जो नहीं है MS Dhoni fan? He is a big MS Dhoni fan, and we'll hope to see his skills there. But again, it's a team led by Mukesh, who is a very smart player, a very intelligent player. So what I'm looking forward to seeing is how he uses his options in this particular game.
Well, we have a look at the London side as well, going neck to neck against the Dubai Vipers there. London start with the likes of Supreet. Now, we've already spoken about Supreet, how he will go forward, the captain for the team, remember, along with Tejas and Praveen. Quite expectations from them, isn't it?
Big expectations from them. London Rhinos की team batting में बहुत अच्छी है. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, तेजस से लेके अमित तक सबका स्ट्राइक रेट 200 के ऊपर है. और यहाँ पे सागर जो हैं, he is a very, very useful player. उनका डॉट बॉल परसेंटेज जो है 32% है, which is one of the highest in the league. And again, हम अमित की बात करें, he is probably one of the bowlers जिनका सबसे कम लो इकोनॉमी रेट है. मतलब हम बात कर रहे थे सुखप्रीत की कि इनका इकोनॉमी रेट अराउंड 5 के आसपास है. उसके नीचे भी है अमित का इकोनॉमी रेट लेस देन 5 एंड ओवर. और इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे जहां पे आपके पास केवल 5 ओवर रहते हैं ना, इट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट आप किस इकोनॉमी से बॉलिंग कर रहे हो, क्या स्ट्राइक रेट है. सो आई थिंक अ वेरी वेरी गुड साइड फॉर लंडन.
Well, also, if you take into consideration the fact that they have 3 left-handers, 3 right-handers, which really makes it difficult for the bowlers when they're rotating strike as well. You look out for the players to look out for, Mukesh and Supreet. Well, you must place your bets on Supreet if you want to, but again, too many players out there who want to perform and who want to do well in that plane. Players to watch out for. Will it deviate from the man of the match, any of these?
Well, man of the match तो बहुत दूर की बात है. अभी man of the match पे नहीं जाते because you're almost predicting the game. But I'm looking forward to their challenge. Supreet with his bowling, Mukesh with the maneuvering, the strategy, his high dot ball percentage. I think we have another game of, who's going to win the bowling department.
Right, one of the most important segments has also been, or rather one of the most underspoken is the bowling segment, because when you're looking at the runs, you're seeing the sixes coming the fours, but there have been some really good bowling performances as well, isn't it, in the first 2 games that we've seen?
In the first 2 games, yes, बिल्कुल सही आपने बताया. चेन्नई ने बहुत ज़बरदस्त गेंदबाजी की. I think I was really impressed with चेन्नई. लेकिन उसके बाद न्यूयॉर्क उन्होंने उससे भी बेटर गेंदबाजी की. 5 ओवर में उन्होंने 4 विकेट निकाले. जो उनका 5वां ओवर था उसमें डॉट बॉल था. I am looking forward to see how these two teams perform. And you know, London, I think they are looking really good. हम अपने viewers को बता दें, लाखों players की registration आई थी. We have the top 48 players in each of these 8 sides. और आप देख सकते हैं लंदन की जो टीम की कलेक्शन है. This is not about individual cricket anymore. This is team cricket. Good strike rate, good bowling. I think London Rhinos might be the favorites going into this game.
Well, you've heard it from one of our experts. Well, we go down for the toss when Neeraj is along with the captains and umpires who are ready for the toss.
All new Pulsar Mania's here. Maniacs wanted.
lenskart. Download the app now.
लेकिन ये पाइप चलेगा।
finolex pipes. पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी, पाइप नहीं।
देवियोर संजनो, वी आर एट मैच नंबर 3. मेरे साथ है कैप्टन ऑफ दुबई वाइपर्स मुकेश दोडवानी एंड कैप्टन लंदन राइनोस सुखप्रीत सिंह. नाउ आई वुड लाइक टू कॉल द अंपायर फॉर द टॉस. A big round of applause, guys. Captains, who's going to take the call?
I'm calling.
Oh, that's Dubai Vipers, very confident.
Heads.
So Dubai Vipers have called for heads, and heads it is. Mukesh, congratulations. So बताइए, what is it going to be?
We will bowl first.
Bowling.
Yeah.
अच्छा जी. यार, why so?
It's the first match of the tournament, so we'll try to set a target and defend it easily.
Great, great. Thank you so much यार, and all the very best to you यार. सुखप्रीत, ये लीजिए. इधर आइए. बताइए, क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे थे?
सर अगर हम टॉस जीते तो हम भी बॉलिंग ही करने वाले थे, क्योंकि फर्स्ट मैच है, थोड़ा टारगेट का पता हो तो बैट्समैन उस हिसाब से प्लान कर सकते हैं.
बिल्कुल.
तो कोई बात नहीं, अभी हो भी जाएगा. अभी तक अच्छी शॉट मिलेगी तो 70 के आसपास ट्राई करते हैं मारने का.
Great. All the very best to the London Rhinos. Guys, it's match number 3, Dubai Vipers versus London Rhinos, and off to the analysts.
All new Pulsar Mania's here. Maniacs wanted.
अब आगे कुछ भी हो सकता है.
निक्कर और टी शर्ट पहन के आया साइकिल, लोन लगा के फोन बता दे सबको बच के.
All flights to remain grounded.
चारों घड़ी जिद कर देगी.
जो खुद की सुनते हैं, दुनिया उनकी सुनती है. lenskart आकड़ है.
लेकिन ये पाइप चलेगा.
finolex pipes. पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी, पाइप नहीं.
Well, the tale continues. Dubai Vipers winning the toss and chose to bowl. Well, I'm pretty sure that now they have a fair idea that once you set a total, it's easier to calculate backwards and then go forward down the chase.
Well, absolutely. I think teams winning the toss in this tournament, we are going to see a pattern. You know, it's going to be just that way. What I'm interested to see is, you know, Dubai, they've chosen to bowl first. They have 2 bowlers whose economy is under 5, or just about 5. And they have 2 bowlers who have a high percentage of dot deliveries. And then we have the London side, top 5 batsmen with a strike rate in excess of 200. So this is a classical bat versus ball battle, if you can say. In the next 5 overs, I think this is going to, whoever wins this battle is going to set up the match.
There you have the word coming from the horse's mouth then. You're all ready for the game? Let's go to our casters. Quite enjoying out there, Cripps and Flocky.
All new Pulsar Mania's here. Maniacs wanted.
अब आगे कुछ भी हो सकता है.
निक्कर और टी शर्ट पहन के आया साइकिल, लोन लगा के फोन बता दे सबको बच के.
All flights to remain grounded.
चारों घड़ी जिद कर देगी.
जो खुद की सुनते हैं, दुनिया उनकी सुनती है. lenskart आकड़ है.
लेकिन ये पाइप चलेगा.
finolex pipes. पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी, पाइप नहीं.
Ladies and gentlemen, Devyar Sajjano and everyone all across India, welcome back to the Global eCricket Premier League. We have the third match. This is the first day, and this match is going to be taking place between the Dubai Vipers and the London Rhinos. My name is Loki. Joining me as always is going to be Cripps. Cripps, the third match is finally underway. We've got an interesting one on our hands. We've got the Vipers going up against the London Rhinos. This match has gone completely international.
Exactly right. Both teams, they've got the titles of cities abroad, grand cities abroad, of course. But the players are very much from many different parts of India. In fact, some of them have quite a lot of interesting stories to them. So, without further ado, let's get into them, right?
Yeah.
Let's start with Dubai Vipers, because here's a player, their captain, Mukesh Dodwani, who currently is in the top 10 players of this entire league. He's one of the best players overall. And this is with regards to both his batting and his bowling prowess. Okay?
An all-rounder.
An all-rounder of sorts.
So I mean, a lot resting on his shoulders, huh?
Exactly, right? I mean, आप खुद भी captain हो, आप ही अपनी team के सबसे ज़्यादा impressive stats post करते हो. So there's a lot of pressure on your shoulders. Here's some stats to tell you exactly why he is this good. 25% of all his bowls, dot.
Wow, that is insane. That is a really, really good dot percentage. I don't think Is that one of the highest percentages?
One of the highest. I mean, we've had some impressive bowlers in other teams as well, जो ऐसे अच्छे numbers post करते हैं. But if we've seen anything in the last two matches so far, it is that dot balls turn out to be more important than the wickets in the last 1 or 2 overs.
Yeah, certainly. I feel like those dot balls come real handy, especially when you're trying to make sure you can shut down your opponent, right? You want to try and get those wickets as well, true.
Sure,
but it's very unlikely that you get all 5 wickets in a span of 5 overs. I mean, that requires some very hardcore baiting. Something that New York Apes did really, really well in the previous game. I mean, I think I remember the Delhi Sharks, they lost a wicket in every over. Pretty much.
Exactly.
So they were just never, ever, taking a sigh of relief. There was always a wicket to sort of bring them back to reality and to ground level. But that's not going to happen all the time, which is why having a high dot ball percentage is a very, very big deal. So, yeah, I'm expecting big things out of both of these teams over here. I mean, the Rhinos and the Vipers. That's a very impressive stat, and I think the Vipers are going to be quite happy.
Definitely, the Vipers are going to be quite happy with this one. In fact, on the side of the Vipers, almost every single one of their players has a strike rate of above 200. So I think that is a very strong batting team, right? Plus, if you've got a captain who can bowl dot balls back to back to back, you have a serious way of winning this match. You can thwart the entire momentum of your opponents while continuously hitting bangers. In fact, you don't even need to hit boundaries. If you got a strike rate of over 200 for almost every single player, it's a guaranteed connection and 2 runs every bowl.
Certainly. I mean, even with a simple run rate of just around 10, you can get to a score of 50. But usually you find boundaries in the power play overs. So it's a very normal score to get around 60 runs per match. And I think that's a good average to aim at, especially on the first couple of days. When you have zero information about how people like to play, you can't really come up with the ideal strats to deal with every single one of these teams. Of course, over the course of the tournament, that's going to be changing. And perhaps we're going to be seeing a change in batting order as well, and a change in preference for perhaps the toss winners to go and bat first instead of bowling. But that's a trend that remains to be seen. And so far, it seems that the people who are winning the tosses are very, very eager, like our analyst said earlier, to set a target and then chase that instead. So they're just showing that, hey, you know what, setting the tempo is a little bit risky. Perhaps people have a lot more faith in their bowlers than they do in their batsmen, or rather, they're well aware that, scoring is going to come easy in those power play overs. So, yeah, I mean, I guess they don't feel all that pressure while they're trying to set a target. But, you start off batting and then you risk losing quite a few wickets if you want to establish a good target.
Yeah, but interestingly enough, अब तक जो लोग भी टॉस जीते हैं उन सब ने bowling choose की है पहले, and generally जो भी team पहले bowl कर रही है वो हमेशा हार रही है. But that's just a pattern of 2 games, right? I mean, हमने अब तक सिर्फ 2 games देखे हैं, so it's quite a small sample size. I can't confirm this to be a match-winning theory just yet, but it's shaping up to be a storyline so far.
Certainly. I mean, the Delhi Sharks as well, they chose to bowl first and... No, wait, they chose to bat first, if I'm not... Oh, no, they chose to bowl first. Excuse me, my memory fails me. Or
They did. You're right. You're right.
Okay. Yeah, never mind.
So, not just a hat rack, my friend.
Yeah. Fair enough. But, Yeah, I mean, this matchup coming up between the Vipers and the Rhinos, we saw the Brutes actually are having a bit of a rough time in these games so far. I feel like
Actually, yeah.
they have been trying to go for those boundaries, and of course, you know, hitting boundaries, hitting them with power comes easy to the Brutes, but it seems that is played against them in a way because but the bowlers are adapting and they're trying to bait those batsmen in, and even though the trend has been that the Brute typically gets a few boundaries, it comes at the expense of that early wicket. And losing a wicket in a power play over is huge. You don't really want to bring out your balanced batsmen in because they don't really have that same amount of sheer power and strength to try and you know, get those boundaries in.
I mean, you saw what happens when a great batsman opens for you in those power play overs, right? JD ने जिस तरह से अपनी टीम को carry किया है, बहुत ही ज़्यादा शानदार परफॉर्मेंस थी उनके तरफ से. And if almost every batsman opens like this, यार फिर तो पूरा का पूरा tournament एकदम banger होने वाला है.
Yeah, I feel like if we get that kind of an opening in these games, I think the viewers are also going to be glued to their seats. I don't think koi bhi apne chair se uth ke jaane wala hai, you know,
Absolutely not.
for water or for snacks. They're just going to wait for the break and be like, okay, you know what, it's time for us to go and get something to eat because when the match comes on, we're not going to be getting up.
Yeah.
And that's the case for this game pretty much because there's only 5 overs in play. So that way, every single ball counts, every single over counts, every single wicket counts, and everything you do counts. And yeah, I guess when you have such a short time span, there's really not a lot of room for you to play comfortably and to play as explosively as you might want to play because sometimes that can cost you wickets as it did in the case of the Sharks.
Yeah, but I'm glad that you brought up explosive gameplay because हमारे जो अगले contestant हैं जिसके बारे में हम बात करने वाले हैं वो ऐसी ही कुछ explosive story लेके आते हैं to the table. ठीक है, London Rhinos. Let's start with one of their least impressive players. Now, I'm saying least impressive because he has done a lot of other cool things in life. ठीक है? They have a player called Sagar. बहुत ही अच्छे fitness freak है वो, उनकी body देखोगे या तो you can tell. He's been an actual professional cricketer, like in real life as well. Yeah, he
practical experience.
Yeah, he participated in the World Cup of tennis ball cricket, and as you can tell, tennis ball cricket is a lot harder than at least for bowlers. It is a lot harder because tennis balls can be hit for massive distances, right? So if you can perform well in a format like that. In real life cricket, I'm pretty sure that you can kick ass in real cricket as well over here.
Certainly. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of eyes set on him today, and I hope that doesn't get to him. I mean, he's probably used to playing under pressure and used to having people look at him and evaluating his performance. So perhaps that should be less of a factor for him. But let's not forget, a lot of these players here coming in for the first time are here on the stage for the first time. So perhaps the nerves and the jitters are going to get to them. But you know what? Enough talking about that. We've got the game ready at our hands. Let's just jump straight into the action and see what's there in store for us. Well, first ball off the ON. It's going to be Harbhajan at the ball. Praveen at the striking end. A good start. It seems the fielder will be able to stop the ball, but at the cost of 3 runs. A solid start for the side of the Rhinos.
Indeed, a solid start. Charging in between the wickets, getting 3 in the process. Very similar to how Rhinos would often trample their helpless victims, but can they bring the weight and the momentum of a real Rhino in here?
Yeah, that's going to be the challenge, to try and be the unstoppable force, but the Vipers are no slouches either. Clever, cunning. You can see if any of those characteristics apply to these players. As again, another great shot coming in from Tejas, as that's the Brute batsman. You can see the sheer power in each of those shots. And again, 2 runs, not so bad here. Really good start for the side of the Rhinos.
Harbhajan, starting off things for Dubai, has a lot of pressure on his shoulders because he is their finest bowler. Good prevention of the boundary. Like I was saying, Harbhajan has an economy of 5.6 throughout the tournament so far. Now that is an incredibly nice number, although it's been breached in the very first ball, in the very first few set of balls actually. If you're just half an over in, and he's already given way more than the average that he has, but this might just be a wicket. High up in the air. Is there a fielder? Absolutely not. It goes over.
And there it is. The powerful four coming through from Tejas. As there is an edge at the end of that. So apologies for getting the pronunciation wrong, but oof, we missed that one. Harbhajan. Some good bowling over here so far, but yeah, preventing boundaries and the power play over remains somewhat of a pipe dream for some of these teams.
Speaking of pipe dreams, maybe finolex will be able to say something over here, but no, this rather is a Pulsar powerful 4.
It certainly is. Not much of a showstopper, but nonetheless, very good understanding of the field and using the power play overs to their fullest. Rhinos off to a solid start.
Indeed, a solid start. Man, 15 runs in one singular over. Most of them based on 4s and just doubles and even a 3-run at the start. I think that is solid momentum. Tejas definitely striking hard.
Yeah, but now it seems like the bowler is going to be Vijay, who is the leg spinner for their team. Let's see if he can catch the batsman off guard. But no, Praveen, well aware, but really good fielding coming through. And that is prevention of the boundary.
You know, Vijay actually is a big fan of KL Rahul.
That is interesting. I did not know that fact.
Let's see if he can channel any of that Rahul magic in his arms.
Well, remains to be seen so far. It's bowling. Going rather well, but I'm afraid that one is off for the boundaries and it's not coming back. Beautiful loft coming through from Praveen. Great understanding once again of the field.
That ball was well outside the off stump. He stepped a little in the front, even moved a little to the side, and then lifted it in the air for a nice long mid-wicket drive.
Oh, that's, well, it looked like it was going to be close, but they only go for the one. Nonetheless, this is still some decent bowling coming through from the side of Dubai Vipers. Let's not forget that this is the power play overs. This is where you want to get those boundaries, and you are going to get those boundaries. But can they prevent that? And looks like the answer is going to be no, because this one again is headed for the boundary, and that's another 4.
My goodness, Vijay really is getting it now. Doesn't matter if he bowls from over the wicket or around the wicket. He's just getting smashed left, right, center. No area is safe.
Yep.
Cover drives, mid-wicket drives, all of these areas have been targeted by Tejas, and he just doesn't seem to stop.
Oh yeah. Thankfully, this time around, there was a fielder towards the point area, so that ball will be stopped in its tracks. But final ball of the power play, and it's the left-hand batsman Praveen. Can he bring out his magic? We'll have to see. Quick change in positioning, straight towards point, and again that's a 6. As the power play overs end with a bang in the Dubai Vipers, they are going to be smiling ear to ear after that one.
These guys are moving at a pace which Pulsar will be very, very proud of.
Oh yeah.
33 for no loss in just 2 overs. This is a solid pace. The Rhinos are stomping all over the Vipers.
Yeah, I believe those bikes might be fit for some of these players, because the way at which they're going is very, well, it's very reminiscent of those Pulsar bikes themselves.
Sheesh. No losses so far. The partnership between Tejas and Praveen going really, really swell.
Yeah,
and at this point, even though you've changed your fielding setups, there's still quite a lot of players within the 30-yard circle.
Yeah, I believe they're still changing the fielder positions. I don't think this is the final spread, and there you go. And as always, it seems like right out of the power play, the bowlers do seem to prefer the inside outfield.
Yeah. Even the wicketkeeper has moved quite far back. They're hoping that the ball would nick the bat, but that is not going to happen. Good dive to save the boundary, but a double is achieved nonetheless, and Tejas retains his strike.
Oh yeah. The umpire making sure the bowler is well aware of his limits. Overstepped the bounds, and you're going to be in for a toss, as the Rhinos have already established a very, very hefty lead, 35 runs. And oh boy, that one is off once again to the boundaries, as that is a showstopper 4 at its finest.
The drummers are going insane. They might even be jealous by the amount of times they have had to play those bangers.
Oh yeah. And oh boy, that is another beautiful shot, but I believe the fielder is on the case. Well, the drummers were certainly enthusiastic, but the fielders like, hold on to your horses, folks. As Manish, he is the fast bowler for the side of the Vipers. And so far, it's been doing quite all right, but let's see if that is about to change.
Oh,
Good shot, but the fielder's there. A second run attempted, and they are safe.
Manish, the vice captain of Dubai Vipers, hasn't really bowled spins as dangerously as he would have wanted to probably, but at least he forced the side of London Rhinos to try out a new shot. Up until now, they've been hitting laterally really well, and this one is straight in the warm embrace of the fielder standing towards cover side. The first wicket acquired, but there's still a long way to go.
Oh yeah, that is going to be somewhat of an expensive wicket, as that is the brute on the side of Rhinos who is going to be going away. But you've got Sukhpreet still. The radical batsman is here to try and stem the tiny nick, I would say, on the skins of the Rhinos, who are known for their very thick hide. And well, looks like the fielder will be there to prevent the boundary, and I believe that is a run out.
Direct hit?
Nope.
Directly back to the pavilion.
Oh yeah, and looks like the side of the Rhinos bit off more than they can chew, and that is going to be the radical batsman out. Praveen Dhilla will be going back to the dugout.
At least with this, both the opening batsmen of the London Rhinos have been dispatched. Sukhpreet, Shivam, both of them facing their first bowls in this over. And that momentum definitely has been acquired by Dubai Vipers, albeit a bit late. They probably have given away way more runs than they would have wanted to, but a wicket is a wicket nonetheless.
And now it's Wamsi's turn. Good bowling, well aware of where his fielders are, and he's just trying to make sure that he doesn't give away too many boundaries. But again, the pressure has been mounting as the Rhinos lose 2 wickets in quick fashion.
Hey, but both of those guys had a wonderful partnership. They got to 46 already, and there's still plenty of balls left. A lot more room to cover.
Yeah, and you can see even the new batsmen coming in, both Sukhpreet as well as Shivam, just trying to make sure that they don't really give up any unnecessary wickets. So they're going to take their time with the bowls. And I think the Vipers could not have asked for something better as well. Seems like they will be able to find 2. But that was legged, so no runs will be granted.
Vamsi is one of those bowlers who often has communication issues with his fellow teammates.
And why
but the language barrier doesn't seem to hold him back.
Oh, that's an interesting fact. I did not know that. But, well, I certainly do know what that is. The language of cricket is universal, and that's a 4.
What a shot. Rather mistimed, so the ball actually hit the top of the bat, but still the decision to hit that shot itself is brilliant enough, and since the fielders aren't positioned appropriately, that shot was almost between third man and final leg, nearly directly behind.
Yeah, and running around along the circumference of the field, it might look like there's not a lot of distance, but that is indeed a long area to cover. It is not so easy, and you can see the fielding positions being changed, tightening up the spread, trying to cover for that weakness.
Another inside out field acquired. This time there's one more player behind the wicketkeeper as well.
That's
but
off
this
to
one,
the boundaries. Nothing is going to stop that ball. And Cripps, well, the caster's curse, it strikes at the worst time possible, doesn't it?
Exactly. In fact, almost all of the fielders inside the 30-yard circle are positioned towards long off and long on. You find the gap between those and you hit it over the fielders' heads, it is definitely a guaranteed boundary.
Well, the fielders far more spread out now, so this field position at least perhaps more conducive to the 2s and the 3s, but there's still a chance for the boundaries towards the fine leg in the third man, so maybe we see a change coming up, but yeah.
I think this is still a very impressive performance from London Rhinos. Up until now, every match that we've seen, most teams would be somewhere around the 50-run mark at the end of the 4th over. London Rhinos are at 58.
Yeah,
and we've seen that 60 or anything above that does become a challenge for most teams to chase later on.
Yeah, the Rhinos are certainly starting to edge out their opponents. Oh, that shot is lobbed high up in the air, across the boundary, and the Rhinos continue to establish a higher bar for batters here in the GEPL.
He went way ahead of the crease to hit that one. Swinging his bat really wide, going in for one of those cuts.
And there's still 5 balls remaining in this over.
I know, right? And they've already crossed the 60-point mark.
Yeah, this is beautiful. Beautiful stuff coming out from the London Rhinos on the first day.
Do you think we could actually see a 70-run target this time?
I think it is very, very likely that we see the side of London Rhinos cross 70. So, Dubai Vipers are going to be a little bit hard-pressed in the batting, but miracles are possible. A full toss, but it's batted well.
Mr. Mukesh, the captain of Dubai Vipers now. Doing really well so far, but he is one of the better bowlers of the team. He's got a 25% dot ball rate. So if there's any time to activate that dot ball weakness, it is now.
Well, looks like against these caliber of batsmen, dot balls remain a pipe dream, a cancelled run, and a wise decision at that, because that could have been a wicket otherwise.
Definitely. A rather straight ball thrown by Mukesh, just a little above the stumps, but it was well in line. A very different frame of form. Okay, I speak of different flavors, and this one is well outside the off-stump line. Still, the outcome is quite similar. Only a double acquired, but Mukesh does keep switching things up. All the bowls so far that he's thrown have been somewhat different. I guess now you know the secret of his dot ball 25% rate.
Oh, that looks a little frisky, and it is, because it's caught by the Dubai Vipers. That's an out.
Lenskart, nazar ghati, durgatna ghati. That's what happens when your players actually position themselves a little too far ahead.
They took their eye off the field for just a moment, and Lenskart knew exactly what to say.
Mukesh still deciding which side to throw the ball from. Is it going to be over or around the wicket? Looks like it's over. Last ball off the innings, and it's a full toss. Goes the distance, and it's another wicket. Well, 66. That's the target set for the Vipers.
And nonetheless, still a very impressive performance coming out by the Rhinos, but the 70 mark is not going to be crossed today, or at least not in this match.
It's an elusive target for most teams.
Yeah.
A pipe dream, rather, if our friends at Finolex would approve that.
Oh yeah, the Rhinos starting to get a little bit too ahead of themselves.
Yep.
All new Pulsar Mania's here. Maniacs wanted.
lenskart. Download the app now.
लेकिन ये पाइप चलेगा।
फिनोलेक्स पाइप्स, पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी, पाइप नहीं।
Yeah, but
all those nature documentaries paying off now, huh?
Oh yeah.
How long have you been waiting to crack that factoid out?
A while.
A while, yeah, I can tell.
Oh, okay. Well, I couldn't tell that it was looking like it could have been a boundary, but well fielded. And how many runs are they going for here? Are those 4 runs? Did Jesus get 4 runs, or was that 3?
Honestly, I lost count.
Yeah,
after
me
the second
too.
one.
They just ran 4 runs.
We might as well have just let it go towards the boundary. At least that way, Pulsar would be more happy to show off their bikes and their power shots once again.
Yeah.
But they just run it between the wickets. I mean, that was indeed a solid fielding effort. That dive towards the end to stop the ball from touching the boundary indeed is commendable. But the actions are rather futile.
Yeah, I know 2 sets of folks who weren't too happy after that. The folks who are at Pulsar and the members of the Rhinos. But the Vipers, yeah, just proving to be rather elusive. They've been, well, on the sample size of 2 balls, they've been doing rather well. And on the 3rd one, they will prevent the boundary, but nonetheless, Vipers, good running between the pitch. It looks like the bat, or rather the strike, will be retained by Mukesh here.
He went for a really lofted shot. I mean, if the fielder was any closer, that could have been a catch out. And the captain can't afford to go down at such an early stage of the game.
Oh, wow, that's a good shot, but can the fielder get there in time? Yes, he can. Oh, and a good stoppage of the ball. But I think this is going to cost them 3 runs.
There's a lot of running between the wickets. Mukesh and Roy really getting the legwork in over here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, all of their boundaries, if not boundaries, at least all of their shots have gone the distance. And since there's only 2 fielders outside the 30-yard circle, they do have to put in a lot of legwork as well. So everyone is just on their feet all the time.
Oh, that could have been a lot last year. But fortunately, really well bowled by the spinner. Sagar doing God's work for the side of Rhinos.
Somewhere between the short and good length, and that's why it missed the stumps by just a little bit. Sailed over the tops.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that could have been yet another wicket.
And already the power play over looking good so far, but there's still 1 ball remaining, and as they say, it's not over till it's over. And perhaps that's why. Oh, and that's a beautiful catch coming in. As the Dubai Vipers will lose their first wicket. Or no. Oh,
No.
Excuse me.
It bounced just a little before the ball was caught. I know.
That
the
visuals
are misleading. Don't bother. But the ball bounced just a little before the fielder caught it.
Never mind, folks. My hands are in the air. I misspoke. Apologies.
Thank goodness you're not the umpire.
Yeah. I mean, I would really pity the federation that is responsible for selecting umpires. If they chose me, I have terrible eyesight.
Maybe our friends over at Lenskart can help you out with that one.
Perhaps, guys, if you're watching this, hey, you know, I think right eye is 2.25, left eye is 2.5. Do your work, guys.
Yeah, I'm sure our friends over at Lenskart will have that delivered to you. I don't need glasses, but I will wear them regardless. They look quite stylish.
They do. They certainly do. Oh! Okay, a loud appeal for sure. And the umpire nods in agreement as well. The previous one might not have been out, or the one before that, but this one certainly is.
Look at how much distance he's covered.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he clicked on the front foot button or the advance button, but that guy was way out of position. Easy stumping.
Oh yeah, and that is not the start that you were hoping for. The Vipers losing the 2 radical batsmen. As the brute, I believe, is still in play. That is Mukesh. Oh no, wait, the Mukesh is the radical one, excuse me. So yeah, it's like the Vipers are in a bit of a pickle here.
Yeah, but maybe Manish can dig them out of it. Manish is one of the more consistent batsmen on this team. He's got an impressive strike rate of 235. Even though his boundary rates are somewhat average, it's the consistency that matters over here more.
Yeah, wide, it's granted by the umpire, yeah. That looked a little bit suspicious.
Second wide ball for Amit in the same over. That's not a good look for London.
Yeah, definitely not, but... Oh no, that was, I believe that was the first wide ball of this over, if I'm not wrong, yeah. Well, it seems like the Rhinos have got some room to breathe, but just need to be careful that they don't get too ahead of themselves as they did towards the end of that first inning.
Oh.
Yeah, and the Vipers continuing to feel the pressure. As another wide. Okay, well, your prophecy came true.
What can I say?
Yeah, you just looked too far into the future. You just weren't looking at the screen. You were peering into the whale. And you saw the future.
I was looking into the crystal ball, man.
Oh, yeah. You put some shine on that crystal ball, for sure.
Definitely.
Well,
have you ever wondered what it would be like to actually play with crystal balls? Like, are they strong enough to survive the impact of the bat?
Hey, you know what? That's a question for astrologers and not for me. All I know is that that's a 4. A showstopper 4 for the Dubai Vipers, and a much needed one at that.
A rather mixed bag of an over for someone like Amit. I mean, the second ball of the over in which he acquired that wicket would have been a wide if it wasn't for the stumping. And then 2 wides followed by that, so technically 3 wides if it wasn't for the first wicket. And then a boundary to end it, so yeah. Definitely mixed feelings about that over. But hey, the fact that they managed to down 1 wicket while limiting Dubai Vipers to less than 25 runs, I think that's a good enough pace.
It certainly is. And Dubai Vipers, they've got 18 balls to work with here. And they do need a couple of boundaries, such as this one. And there's no doubt in it. In our minds or the umpires, that's a 4. And a much needed one at that again.
Nice.
As the Rhinos, well, they might need some lenskart glasses too, because they are losing sight of the fact that they need to ball a bit more conservatively.
Yeah. Short ball delivered at the perfect height. And all that Mukesh has to do is deliver one slight cut. And it goes straight towards the cover. Another short ball, this time going towards the other side. So there is indeed a man towards square leg, but it gives them enough room to get 2 in.
Yeah, certainly does. And the Dubai Vipers, well, they would have liked to get more out of those power play overs, but this will still suffice.
But Floki, man, I'm starting to feel nervous. They need 39 off of 16, and this target is starting to become a little too steep. The fielding from London Rhinos has been quite impressive so far. They've been preventing all these boundaries, even though there were some comical attempts at 4 runs between the wickets.
Oh, yeah.
I can overlook all of that as long as they keep the pressure on.
Certainly. I mean, that is going to take some fielding disasters of epic proportions for you to see it again, but that is a beautiful boundary.
I can't even call that a fielding disaster. That was a full toss.
That was just very, very good awareness of the field by the batsman. Mukesh showing that he's well aware of where the fielders are.
Easily lofts it towards third man. So much grace with Mukesh. He doesn't even look like he's trying.
Yeah. I mean, just effortless with the bat. As if it's an extension of his own body, but perhaps that is not enough, because still Dubai Vipers have only just yet crossed the halfway mark, and they only have 12 more balls after this, excuse me.
Similar shot attempted, similar outcome, 2 runs acquired once again. So it's a decent enough pace, right?
It's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. You got 2 boundaries, ran twice between the wickets, thrice actually. So that's good enough pace, but is that enough?
Yeah.
You're at 38 for 1 with 2 overs to go.
I think you want to protect those wickets for now. Take the 1s and 2s and the 3s that you're getting. Towards the end, look to be a bit more frivolous with how you're batting, because this is this could go, this could end up being a disaster very, very quickly for them. As we did see, the Rhinos, they did get some very interesting wickets. So
that is true indeed, but
yeah, the Vipers, they're gonna have to be a little bit careful here. It's not bad, but it's not something to write home about either. They are under pressure.
Oh, ek aur Yorker, and this one's in the air, all the way across. ये बहुत ज़्यादा पनिश हो रहे हैं लंदन वाइपर्स एवरी टाइम वो एक फुल लेग बॉल डालते हैं या फिर यॉर्कर डालते हैं स्पेशली आउटसाइड द ऑफ स्टंप एरिया हमेशा बाउंड्री जाती है दुबई वाइपर्स बहुत ही अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं ऐसे टाइप के बॉल्स को पनिश करने के लिए
बिल्कुल थिंक दुबई वाइपर्स ने काफ़ी अच्छी बल्लेबाजी दिखाई इतने प्रेशर में आने के बाद भी लेकिन ये बॉल काफ़ी अच्छी फील्ड है
पैटर्न समझ में आ रहा है ना फ्लो की शॉर्ट बॉल जब भी डाला जाता है हमेशा उनके प्लेयर्स सिंगल या फिर डबल ही ले पाते हैं इनफैक्ट अप अंटिल नाउ तो मुकेश काफ़ी ज़्यादा टाइम पॉइंट और स्क्वायर लेग की तरफ खेल रहे थे स्पेशली जब शॉर्ट बॉल आती है लेकिन ये उनका पहला शॉट था टुवर्ड्स लॉन्ग ऑफ डज ही गो फॉर समथिंग सिमिलर अगेन ना ही स्टिक्स टू द गुड ओल्ड स्क्वायर लेग साइड seems to be his preferred area.
Oh yeah. And again, I mean, the Rhinos doing a good job of limiting the number of runs the Vipers are able to get off of these balls, and that's more than enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it is starting to get a little bit scary. They are, I believe, close to, how many runs would that be? 19 runs off the goal, so...
Not that far.
Yep, not that far. That ball is lofted high up in the air. But is that an out? And I believe it is.
Well, lenskart. That's what they are all about. नजर हटी और दुर्घटना घटी. आपने नजर में तो बराबर शॉट मारा, आपका डिसीजन अच्छा था, लेकिन टाइमिंग थोड़ी गलत हो गई. बॉल लगा बैट के टॉप साइड की तरफ, इसलिए वो हाइट नहीं मिली, वो लेंथ नहीं मिली जितनी आप एक लॉफ्ट बॉल में चाहते हो, और वो सीधा गई आपके लॉन्ग ऑफ वाले फील्डर के हाथ में. This time, it's a right-handed batsman. Very, very interesting.
Yeah. Well, this one's off to the cover side, and they will find 2 runs. But again, they needed a little bit more than that. They a no ball.
That's exactly what they required. They do need a little bit more than that. और अब उन्हें मिल गया है एक फ्री हिट. अब मैं देखना चाहता हूं when there is no risk involved, वामजी किस तरह से ये बल्ला खेलते हैं. उनका पहला शॉट तो काफी नॉर्मल इश था, कवर की तरफ मार दिया. A rather simple drive.
Or rather stroke,
sorry. But this time,
okay. Yeah, I mean, good bowling by Shiv. You know, just making sure that's a dot ball on the free hit at least. So they only get those 2. And perhaps an opportunity squandered.
Yeah, an opportunity definitely squandered. ये free hit पे अगर एक boundary लग जाती, that target of 17 off of 7 would look very, very easy.
But well, this certainly was not easy for the Vipers. And once again, great awareness of the field.
That's a powerful pulsar 6. Free hit पे नहीं मार पाया, लेकिन regular ball पे मार दिया. And with that, Vamsi establishes his opening.
Certainly showing off his incredible perception.
Yeah. Last over, Sukhpreet आ चुके हैं field पे.
Yeah. And well, Sukhpreet, I mean, फिलहाल तो अच्छी bowling कर रहे हैं. 2 ही रन मिलेंगे, लेकिन yeah, वो आखिरी 3 या 4 गेंदों में पूरा खेल खेला जाएगा.
यार ये बहुत क्लोज होने वाला है फ्लो की. अगर वो हर एक बॉल पे 2-2 रन मार देंगे तो दुबई वाइपर्स ये गेम जीत जाएंगे. At this point, London Rhinos desperately need dot balls.
Wow! और ये वापस से बाउंड्री क्रॉस करेगी. It is going to be a 6. दुबई वाइपर्स को इस ही की जरूरत थी, and that might have been the showstopper that they were looking for.
You know, if Dubai Vipers actually win this game, they will be the first team of the day to choose bowling first and then actually win it. But that's a big if.
It certainly is, and the Dubai Vipers will find 2 on the back of that. So now the London Rhinos are going to be looking for a change in strategy.
They've already tied the score, man.
They have tied the score. They need 1 run in 3 balls. And you best ball dots. But that's not going to happen. The Vipers are going to take this match. As the Rhinos, even though their batting was impressive, their over-enthusiasm towards the end really cost them in this one. The Vipers
up until
react
now,
really well to pressure.
Definitely reacting really well to pressure. Up until now, every team that set the target of 65 did a really good job of defending it. Lekin ye chase bahut successful rahi.
Certainly. I mean, Dubai Vipers, despite coming under so much pressure, just like a heap of coal, they turn into diamonds. And well, out of the rough they emerge with smiles on their faces. They're well aware of what they have done.
Their fangs digging deep into the thick hides of the Rhinos, delivering their first defeat of the season.
Certainly. I mean, Rhinos, I think उनकी performance भी काफी अच्छी थी, but perhaps इतनी अच्छी नहीं जितनी वो चाहेंगे. लेकिन इसी के साथ तीसरा मैच समाप्त होता है. हम जाएंगे एक बहुत ही छोटे से ब्रेक के, और ब्रेक के बाद हम लाएंगे चौथा मैच.
All new Pulsar Mania's here. Maniacs wanted.
Hey, I was just on lenskart. ये जो price है $999, right?
नहीं करण, रुपीज है.
I can't be seen wearing glasses under 1 lakh. Price थोड़ा ज्यादा हो सकता है क्या?
करण, ये बढ़िया प्राइस है. It's only because we don't have middlemen.
90,000?
आप कहीं और से ले लो. 80,000. I'm going. Bye.
अमीरों की हाई लगेगी तुझे.
फैक्ट्री वाले प्राइसेस, no middlemen. lenskart. Download the app.
लेकिन ये पाइप चलेगा.
finolex pipes. पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी, पाइप नहीं.
The Dubai Vipers have killed off their opposition with such a venomous gameplay. Mukesh, आइए. A big round of applause for Dubai Vipers. यार, आप टॉस जीते.
Yes.
You decided to bowl.
Yeah.
And then अभी तक का highest scoring match था ये. And the biggest chase. दिमाग में क्या चल रहा था?
पहले जब फर्स्ट इनिंग्स पूरा हुआ ना, थोड़ा प्रेशर था कि टारगेट बहुत बड़ा है, लेकिन फिर सोचे अब मैच को अब अगले ओवर तक लेके जाते हैं, बॉल बाय बॉल देखते हैं कहाँ तक जा रहा है. फिर एक वाइडेड कंट्रोल में आया और अपन इसको देखे फिर इजी हो गया था.
ऐसा कोई भी मोमेंट था जब राइनोज बैट कर रहे थे कि आपको लग रहा था यार लग गए?
पावर प्ले के बाद
अच्छा.
रन रेट लोग बहुत हाई था.
ये बताइए, एनी पेप टॉक टीम को कुछ कहा कि यार लेट्स स्टिक टू द स्ट्रेटजी, थोड़ा स्ट्रेटजी घुमा देते हैं, एनी ऑफ दैट?
नहीं, जो अपन डिसाइड किया उसी में स्टिक किया अपन.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Mukesh. A big round of applause once again for the Dubai Vipers. Thank you, guys. Please have a seat. Guys, now over and out to our analysts, Roshan and Chetan.
All new Pulsar Mania's here. Maniacs wanted.
अब आगे कुछ भी हो सकता है.
रोटी शर्ट पहन के आया साइकिल लोन लगा के फोन बता दे सबको बच के.
All flights to remain grounded.
जो खुद की सुनते हैं, दुनिया उनकी सुनती है. lenskart आकड़ है.
लेकिन ये पाइप चलेगा.
finolex pipes. पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी, पाइप नहीं.
Welcome back then. The Dubai Vipers wiping out the London Rhinos in another. Well, again, the story continues. Chetan, joining us along, our expert.
Well, yes, Roshan, chasing is becoming a fast trend in the global ecricket Premier League. And we had discussed about, Mukesh's all-round skills, काफ़ी intelligent player हैं, किस तरीके से वो अपनी strategies देखते हैं, किस तरीके से players का इस्तेमाल करते हैं, किस तरीके से खुद का इस्तेमाल करेंगे, मैं यही कहूँगा, क्योंकि लास्ट ओवर उन्होंने बॉलिंग की, फिर ओपन दी इनिंग्स एंड स्कोर दोज रन्स. आई थिंक ऑल राउंड परफॉर्मेंस. I have to talk about London, London team, London Rhinos. I mean, they were looking really good. All of their batsmen scoring boundaries. The strike rate was up 66 runs on the board. It was not easy to chase. But and at one point, Dubai didn't look like they were in the hunt. But Manish also scored some big hits in the end. So all in all, a great game of cricket. Runs on the board and chased down. It was really good to watch.
Well, you could also give it up to Tejas and Praveen, who gave a solid start there. 33 in the power play and eventually 43 in partnerships, which actually gave them a good start, isn't it, for Rhinos? But again, falling short, Dubai coming and chasing in another story.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at the Dubai Vipers scorecard. I mean, 28 from Mukesh. That was the kind of start that you need. His strike rate is not above 200, but today he batted in that fashion where he was striking at more than 200. And then I think Manish played a very, very vital role. 27 of 10 balls. I think he hit 2 sixes in the end. एक समय पे लग नहीं रहा था कि दुबई इसको चेज कर पाएंगे, लेकिन तीसरे ओवर के बाद मनीष ने बिल्कुल जो है मैच का रुख बदल दिया. And I think that was an excellent knock under pressure. You needed around 17 runs of the last 9-10 balls, and he was able to hit 2 sixes. To hit 2 sixes at that time, मतलब बिल्कुल आपको ठीक समय पे बटन दबाना है, ठीक समय पे connect करना है to hit, to generate that power and timing to clear the boundary, and it's a big boundary. So I think that was really good to see.
We also talk about 2 back-to-back wickets falling for the London Rhinos in the third over, which actually led to a lot of pressure, which eventually led to lesser runs in the fag end of the overs.
Absolutely. I mean, if you lose wickets, then you're going to lose momentum. And I think with the Rhinos, I think that's what happened. Even in the first innings, that happened. When they lost a couple of wickets, lost the complete momentum. I think they could have. I thought they would have crossed 70 runs. Yeah. I was surprised they did not cross 70. So from that perspective, that's the scorecard for London Rhinos. All of them got starts. Praveen, Tejas, Sukhpreet striking at a good strike rate, but again, those wickets, Sukhpreet and then Shivam. And that last over was bowled by Mukesh. He got those 2 wickets. But the regular wickets, right. I think that sucked out the momentum. And from there was no coming back.
They also scored 50 runs by 4 overs and eventually getting to 67. Good bits, of course, for London Rhinos to pick out from this game.
Absolutely. I mean, in terms of stopping the Rhinos stopping the London Rhinos, yes, they batted first. So we thought they would get 70. I was surprised they did not get 70, and that was because of the wickets that were falling. And this is their bowling card. Manish, again, that wicket that he picked up. Look at Mukesh's bowling figures, 2 for 8. I mean, that is man of the match stuff. और हमने पिछले 3 मैचेस में देखा है, पिछले दोनों मैचेस में देखा है, और ये तीसरा मैच है जहाँ पे there's a batsman and there's a batting performance and a bowling performance from the same player. So I think Mukesh will be up on that card as well.
Well, again, it comes down to our team performances, but talk about Dubai batting at the end. They got a decent start. You also pick the likes of London Rhinos, giving those wides in the second over, which really cost them. You feel discipline was an issue?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's a cricket platform, it's an e-gaming platform. तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है, हम अपने दर्शकों को बता दें कि यहाँ पे movement बहुत ज़्यादा होती है. Batters can bat away from the stumps, तो वही हो रहा था. And in that sense, when he's batting away from the stumps, he's actually throwing a bait to the bowlers. So he's telling the bowler, "Ki you try and hit my stump, and I'm going to hit you out of the park." So from that aspect, they tried bowling diagonally, went down for wide. So from that perspective, extras don't really help, but okay.
Well, absolutely. We'll have a look at the match summaries of how things went down. That's how it looks like. Dubai Vipers eventually getting a victory there by 3 wickets. Well, it shows that at least now. But Mukesh there, 28, and on Manish as well, 27. You did speak about it. Of course, it looks like it will be our man of the match, but we'll have to wait and see there. Good start for Tejas and Praveen, but falling short.
Absolutely. I think you look at those performances, you have 2 performances, 2 man of the match performances. Possible नहीं होता है 2 award देना, लेकिन 2 man of the match performances हैं. Yes, there is Mukesh and Manish, both of them scoring 25 plus runs at a strike rate of 200 plus, and then both of them picking wickets. Mukesh's last over, I thought that was really instrumental. It was looking like they would cross 70, they might even reach 75, but and Mukesh's bowling, I think he deserves the man of the match. Obviously, picking 2 wickets in that last over in a format like this, in a gaming competition like this, I think that is really, really important, and that's marvelous.
Well, we'll have a look at who the man of the match will be eventually. I hope it turns out to be Mukesh with the kind of performance which he has given. And I think we get a confirmation then. Hopefully, Mukesh could be the man. Oh, yes, it is. We could guess that right finally. Mukesh, phenomenal performance, 28 runs now. That's how you contribute for the team, isn't it? You come out, you come out all guns blazing when it's needed.
And he's the captain of the side. He's the captain of the Dubai Vipers. So it's a captain's performance from Mukesh. And again, strike rate 215. His normal strike rate is, or the qualifying round strike rate was around 190 odd. So he's performed better than that. But more importantly, those 2 wickets. I think, अगर मुझे importance देनी है, तो मैं वो 2 wickets को ज़्यादा importance दूंगा. The runs matter. The runs matter. He's a radical batsman. He opened the innings. Power play का इस्तेमाल किया. But those 2 wickets in that last over, for me, that was the difference. Because if Dubai would have gotten to 75, maybe this would have been a very, very different ending.
Well, absolutely. I think a very good point put forward there. It's all about an all-round performance, especially in world cricket right now. We'll have a look at the top partnerships eventually for the Vipers there, which actually turned the course of the game for them. Started with 12 then, like I mentioned, was a decent start for them. And going forward with Manish and Mukesh, who changed their entire face and got the match on its head. 33 runs. Your pick?
My pick, obviously, at the end, Manish, 12 of 4, those 2 sixes doing the damage at that particular time. Wamsi also scored a boundary.
Yep.
So जैसा मैंने कहा कि एक समय पे ऐसा लग नहीं रहा था कि दुबई उसको chase कर पाएंगे. But that partnership, 20 of 7, that changed the complexion. Don't mind me. I mean, 33 of 16, that was important to set the platform. Yes, especially important to set the platform. But जैसे मैंने कहा कि लग नहीं रहा था कि chase कर पाएंगे. So that 20 of 7, those 2 sixes from Manish, they were really, really important.
Well, I've seen some partnerships flourish out there when you talk about the real cricket or you talk about the GEPL, which has actually led to the teams winning out the game course. But a lot of times, it's also about the 4s and 6s. It's also about hitting it at the right time.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think, and that's where Manish comes into the picture once again, because उस समय पे you needed boundaries to release the pressure.
Absolutely.
We needed 17 of 7.
Yeah,
that was the equation.
So,
and of the 2 next balls he faced, he hit 6s.
Right.
There was a 6, a single, and a 6. So from that perspective, you just have to understand that in gaming, the timing is really important. चाहे आप shot खेल रहे हैं, चाहे fielding कर रहे हैं, चाहे आप bowling कर रहे हैं, the timing is really important, and I think Dubai were really on with their timing today, whether with the ball or with the bat.
Well, you talk about that 6 in the last over, right at the start, which actually confirmed their victory, which actually gave them the spot. It's about releasing that pressure, in that penultimate stage, which doesn't really allow you to go to the later stages where the batsman would be pressurized to take steps and rather lose wickets. We have a look at the other side of the partnership. London Rhinos started pretty well, massive 43 runs on board, but I don't know why they couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, I mean, they had a fantastic start from Praveen and Tejas. Tejas started really well, hit a lot of boundaries, but again, that wicket that fell, I mean, and the first wicket and the second wicket.
Right,
back-to-back. Yeah,
back-to-back
wickets, and that sucked out the momentum, and then at the end, they lost another 2 wickets. So in the last over, they could not score too many runs, just the 8 runs, 2 wickets. So yeah, that partnership, 20 of 11, that was really good, but from that perspective, they lost too many wickets in the end, couldn't capitalize.
Well, partnerships certainly could go a long way. What the teams also have to try to do is try to build diversity in that partnership, because you won't have the same set of players trying to perform for you all. Well, they will have the responsibility, certainly, I wouldn't lie. But at the end of the day, we'll have a look at where the runs were scored eventually. We talk about the wagon wheel, and it'll give you an idea of what exactly and how these batsmen are playing.
Yeah, I mean, look at Dubai. They were really attacking. You look at that. They were really attacking the offside. They had third man, 22%, point 40%. So just the offside, 62% of their runs came from the offside, and that was behind square.
Right.
And then you add another, then another 2%. They were able to score like 64% of their runs. They were able to get from the offside, and I think that is a brilliant shot.
Well, speaks volumes about how a team is performing, especially the kind of side they're choosing to score runs. You talk about the other side where London Rhinos went as well. Brilliant opening partnerships. Well, again, there's nothing to lose, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you go for the big shots in 5 overs. That's what you're going to get, and that's the wagon wheel for Dubai Vipers against spin. So again, on the offside, they went heavy. 55% runs coming on the offside. So they targeted that field behind square. And I was surprised, because हमने देखा है कि e-gaming में teams use an inside-out field.
Right.
Despite doing that, they were able to clear the fences, which goes to show कि कितने अच्छे तरीके से hitting किया है Manish ने, Mukesh ने, connecting.
Right.
Hitting the button at the right time, getting the power, getting the placement, and getting those boundaries. Absolutely crucial in a chase like this.
Well, just to remind everybody that you're playing at the MCG, and scoring a boundary or a 6 is not that easy, especially for the batters who are down out right there. Well, I think you make a lot of numbers, a lot of things, but at the end of the day, it's all about going there and performing. Well, it's a lot of conversation around the games that we're going to have. We had the first 2 games, the third game coming out, London playing the Dubai side, Dubai eventually winning it. What does it do to the confidence?
Well, for Dubai, it's amazing because they were chasing. They were out of the game at one point. It looked like it would be tough, but to get there, cross the finishing line, that was brilliant to watch. London Rhinos, they'll be happy that at least their strike rate was really up. They looked like crossing the 70-run mark, which is really tough. In a 5-over game.
Well, we look at the 4s and 6s brought to you by lenskart.
So this was a good start by London. Praveen and Tejas, they got some boundaries in. But again, like I said, they lost momentum when the wickets fell. And that is what made the difference at the end. In the last couple of overs, they did not get as many boundaries as they got in the first 3. Yeah, look at that. I mean, this is the 5th over, and that was the last boundary that was scored by London. And in comparison, Dubai started off really well. but they did not slag off. You know, towards the end, they got those boundaries, and I think again those wickets falling cost London momentum towards the end. I thought they would cross 75 very, very easily. But yeah, some brilliant strokes from Mukesh. And I think we'll see some boundaries from Manish in just a bit. Some brilliant hitting from Manish today.
Well, those are the 4s and 6s. My apologies. Brought to you by the Bajaj Pulsar NS125, your showstopper. We go forward in understanding how the wickets fell down as well. There was some blockage at the start for London Rhinos, of course, where they didn't really give up the wicket, but eventually the wickets fell down.
Yeah, eventually, and the important wickets came in the middle and then towards the end. That sucked out the momentum for London Rhinos, and I think that's where the game really turned. And I think it's important, you know, we talk about timing. It's not just in terms of, you know, timing in terms of your power play or your hitting. I think timing in terms of your fielding is also very, very important. This was a run out. This was unfortunate, you know, they were going back for 2. और गेमिंग में हम अपने दर्शकों को ये ज़रूर बताएंगे कि गेमिंग में टाइमिंग इज़ नॉट जस्ट अबाउट योर शॉट्स, इट्स ऑल्सो अबाउट योर फील्डिंग, योर कैचिंग. जो बॉलर होते हैं उनके हाथ में भी एक बटन होता है जो फील्डर्स को कैचिंग की तरफ ले जाता है, मतलब रन आउट की तरफ ले जाता है. सो यू कैन अफेक्ट दैट. जैसे आप 6s हिट कर सकते हैं, जैसे आप 4s हिट कर सकते हैं. So from that perspective, I think the timing of those wickets was really, really important. And yeah, Dubai never looked back.
The wickets were brought to you by lenskart, of course. Nazar ghati, durghatna ghati, to kheliye. GEPL, aapke lenskart blue glasses. So thanks for styling us perfectly. Well, now when you look at the points table as well, it's going to affect it. Now we know that Dubai is one, so has Chennai, and eventually have seen Delhi going forward as well. So tight contest for the top 3?
Tight contest for the top 3. Now we have 3 teams who have got 2 points on the table. And look at that, Dubai Vipers. And you look at New York Apes, that net run rate, that's amazing, 2.39. So 3 games gone, 2 points each on the board. And only thing separating them is net run rate. Again, the last game of match day 1, New York Apes versus Chennaiwolves. That will be really, really interesting. But before that, we have another interesting game coming up.
Absolutely. Well, we are building in for the next game as well. It's match 4, of course, for today. But again, I would like to take your thoughts on what have you experienced today, idly, Chetan?
Well, you know, it's a new form of cricket. You know, हम बात करते हैं कि cricket कैसे एक passion है, एक जज्बा है fans के लिए, और ये एक opportunity है उन fans के लिए खुद players बनने की. You know, we are in the global ecricket Premier League, दुनिया का सबसे पहला और सबसे बड़ा e-cricket platform. We are playing on real cricket, and lakho registrants aaye the. We picked the best 48 to play in these 8 sides. 60 matches, 56 league stage matches, and 4 knockout matches. This is going to be amazing fun.
Right, we talk about the top number of runs which are scored out here. You see that chart. Well, it's going to increase day by day. We have another 2 odd weeks to fill in where you're seeing Pradyumna there, 31 runs already, leading the chart. But again, now the timing can be questioned of who scored when, because you idly talk about a man of the match performance where it's important in what situations and conditions you score, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Mukesh and Pradyumna, they are openers, but look at Manish. He was finishing the game. I mean, from that perspective, I think Manish, I was very, very impressed with his temperament, the way under pressure he scored those 6s, hit those 6s. So yeah, I think this chart, Pradyumna is, 31 runs in 1 match. You know, in a 5-over game, he scored 31. He's top, he's just been there. And we've seen a lot of movement in this chart, but not Pradyumna.
Right, well, those were the runs, of course. Now, wickets will also win you matches. We all know that. We'll have a look at the wickets of how they fell, and that's how it looks like for now. Well, you have the likes of Anil so far on the top with Manish, Mukesh, and Molan. Well, it's a close contest.
It's starting to look like a close contest now. Manish and Mukesh with those wickets. I think Mukesh, like I said, last over, 2 for 8 in that 1 over. सारे खिलाड़ी जो भी गेंदबाजी करते हैं सिर्फ 1 ओवर कर सकते हैं. 5 ओवर का मैच है, आप 5 गेंदबाज यूज कर सकते हैं, 5 से ज़्यादा तो यूज नहीं कर सकते. हर बॉलर सिर्फ 1 ओवर डालेगा. So that gives you, you know, a lot of difference, a lot of variations. But even then, you know, those 2 wickets in the last over, just like batting, very important.
That is, and one of the other important aspects when you're trying to play around a game of real cricket, especially the GEPL, will always be a strike rate, because remember, you just have 30 balls to deliver, and this is how the strike rate looks like, 400. That's how it looks like, 400.
Absolutely, Vamsi's strike rate. So, you know, he was there for a very, very short time, but that 400 strike rate, I don't think that's going to be beaten. Come on, we are only in the 3rd match on day 1. Do you think that's going to be beaten, 400 strike rate?
Well, I think a lot of times I have been surprised in this league, to be very honest.
Yeah?
So, well, we might not know, we might have some more inspiring performance, but you talk about an impact player.
Yeah.
That's what really Vamsi has created eventually throughout, and I'm pretty sure this is the start for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Manish also now in the top 5. 270. We had JD, जिन्होंने बहुत ज़बरदस्त तरीके से खेला था, 333 का strike rate लगाया था. But Manish, 270 again towards the end of the game in a high pressure situation to strike at that. But again, Vamsi, 400. My money is that nobody's beating Vamsi.
Well, we'll have to wait and watch if that can be or cannot be beaten for that matter. But there we are now gearing up for the next game where the Kolkata Hawks are ready to take on the Mumbai Grizzlies. 2 top towns, 2 top battle, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, these teams will be eager to get those 2 points. You have seen 3 teams already. This is, you know, obviously all 8 teams would have been in action. सबके सारे 8 टीमों का एक-एक मैच हो जाएगा. तो आप चाहेंगे कि आप उस सेक्शन में हो जहाँ पे 2-2 पॉइंट्स लगे हुए हैं, ना कि उस सेक्शन में जहाँ पे 0-0 पॉइंट्स पे हैं. So very, very vital game coming up.
Well, absolutely. Stay tuned. We are coming in with that next game, day 4, or rather day 1 and match 4 of this. Another exciting one up your cards. Don't go anywhere.
That was the end of match number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, do not move from your seats. We are going to come back with some nail-biting actions right after the break.
All new Pulsar Mania is here. Maniacs wanted.
lenskart. Download the app now.
लेकिन ये पाइप चलेगा.
फिनोलेक्स पाइप्स, पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी, पाइप नहीं.